From injuring refs to putting mascots into hospitals, these are times NFL fans went too far.
Oh, they got him! They're coming from the left!
After 49 years at the Cleveland Municipal Stadium, the Browns got the horrible news that their owner, Art Modell, wanted to relocate the franchise to Baltimore in 1995. And the Browns fans were not ready to go down without a fight. During the team's final game at the stadium, fans unleashed their emotions by tearing apart the stadium's interior. They completely demolished the place, and some fans even kept pieces of the stadium as souvenirs to remember their beloved Browns. Though the reaction was extreme, it was also unnecessary because the Browns never ended up relocating to Baltimore. Some fans are disrespectful for no reason. But up next is a fan that lost his mind after an iconic play. This next incident occurred at the end of a 1975 playoff game between the Minnesota Vikings and the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys quarterback Roger Staubach unleashed a desperate 50-yard pass to Drew Peterson in the dying seconds of the game. The play actually became known as the first ever Hail Mary pass. The throw resulted in a touchdown, securing a come-from-behind upset win for the Cowboys that eliminated the Vikings from the postseason. The Vikings protested the touchdown, believing that Peterson should have been called for interference, but the officials upheld the ruling. A Vikings fan completely lost their cool and threw a glass whiskey bottle that struck 54-year-old official Armin Terzian, causing a bloody gash on his forehead. Ouch! A completed Mary comes down to a combination of luck and timing. But in this next moment, luck was actually the victim when fans went too far in Indianapolis. When Adam Schefter announced the retirement of quarterback Andrew Luck during a preseason game, Colts fans had a cringy reaction. As Luck left the field, he was met with a chorus of boos from the fans. Not exactly the send-off that the quarterback had been dreaming of. It was a regrettable moment for a fan base as they were pissed off with Luck's decision, partially because it came so close to the start of the regular season. However, the fans' choice to express their frustration by booing disregarded the fact that Luck had given his all to the team since being selected as the first overall pick in the 2012 NFL Draft while dealing with a career packed with grueling injuries. Jeez, no matter how hard you work for a team, you can't catch a break. But this next fan caught a major break when he pulled a ridiculous stunt on a huge stage. In Super Bowl 55 between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Kansas City Chiefs, there was a moment of excitement when Yuri Andrade stormed the field in a pink leotard. Kinky. Andrade and his fans had planned the stunt beforehand as a way to advertise for an adult website and potentially make money from a Super Bowl streaker prop bet. And Yuri Andrade wasn't just fooling around on the field in his little get-up. He displayed some serious agility by executing a spin move to juke out the security guards near midfield and continued his streaking run towards the end zone. He capped off his spectacle by sliding into the end zone as if he were sliding into home base in baseball. Although he did not get to keep the money he would have won from the bet, the stunt gained him tons of popularity, and he has since amassed nearly 200,000 followers on Twitter. So who's laughing now? If only Chief Z had that type of agility, maybe he could have avoided these outrageous fans in our next moment. In 1983, Zima Williams, also known as Chief Z, the unofficial mascot of Washington's NFL team, experienced a disaster during a road game in Philadelphia. While attending the game, a couple of local Eagles fans attempted to remove his jumpsuit and successfully took off his headdress. As Williams tried to retrieve his headgear, he was attacked by 4 individuals who kicked the living goodness out of him. The injuries he endured included a smashed eye socket and a broken leg. Chief Z was so freaked out he chose not to call an ambulance and instead hired a taxi to drive him all the way back to Washington. That's just brutal. But what's more brutal is that you haven't liked this video and subscribed to our channel yet. What are you waiting for? A crazy fight to break out like in this next moment? In December 2014, the San Francisco 49ers and the Oakland Raiders faced off in a rivalry matchup. Despite the 49ers being favored with a 7-5 record and the Raiders holding a 2-10 record, the Raiders won 24-13. However, Raiders fans still got overly rowdy despite earning a rare win. Multiple fights erupted between Raiders fans and 49ers fans during the game. Stadium security was prepared for the hooligans acting out and intervened immediately, breaking up one fight in just 40 seconds. As a result of the turmoil, 93 fans were ejected from the stadium and numerous others faced legal consequences. The fans in California clearly get pretty heated, but the fans in New York are just nasty. On Christmas Eve 1995, the San Diego Chargers played a late regular season game against the New York Giants. The Chargers were vying for a win to secure a playoff spot, while the Giants had already been eliminated from playoff contention, making the game inconsequential. But several hundred fans disrupted the game by continuously throwing snowballs onto the field. The situation escalated to the point where the referees had to stop the game in the fourth quarter and threatened to end it early, awarding the win to the Chargers by forfeit if the snowball throwing did not cease in New York. Chargers equipment manager Sid Brooks got knocked unconscious after getting drilled in the face by a snowball. Poor guy. Security and police attempted to control the situation, leading to the arrest of 14 individuals and the ejection of 175 fans. Additionally, 15 fans and 10 security guards suffered injuries during the heated Christmas Eve affair. Obnoxious fans have been a part of the game for as long as the game has existed. But when fans cheer when a player gets injured, that's just taking things way too far. During a game between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles in 1999, Cowboys wide receiver Michael Irvin suffered a devastating hit that left him with a severe spinal injury. As medical staff attended to Irvin and he was being taken off the field on a stretcher, a bunch of Eagles fans in the stadium erupted into cheers. Now, a heated rivalry is one thing, but this reaction deeply disturbed both players and observers. Cowboys running back Emmitt Smith expressed his disgust, making it heard that football is just a game, and that real-life consequences like paralysis and death are realities. Even some Eagle players condemned the behavior, labeling it as ignorant and not reflective of true toughness. Now that's called crossing the line. But can we really expect anything better from Eagles fans? It's true, Eagles fans are notoriously some of the worst behaved in the NFL, and they only get grumpier during the holiday season. In December 1968, during a snowy game at Franklin Field, the Philadelphia Eagles were having a disappointing season with a 2-11 record. The scheduled halftime Christmas pageant was at risk as the original Santa Claus performer couldn't make it due to the snow. Eagles entertainment director Bill Mullen spotted a last-minute replacement in the stands, 20-year-old Frank Olivio. But things didn't go as well for the jolly young volunteer as he was hoping. The fans' dissatisfaction with the team's poor performance and the weather created a sour atmosphere in the stadium. The halftime show started with Olivio walking onto the field to the tune of "Here Comes Santa Claus," but the reception from the crowd was far from welcoming. Fans started throwing snowballs, followed by beer cans, bottles, and even hoagie sandwiches at Olivio. What a mess! If you think snowballs sound harmless, then just listen to the outcome of this next game. In 1985, during a clash between the San Francisco 49ers and Denver Broncos, another crazy snowball throwing incident occurred. A Broncos fan launched a perfectly placed snowball that landed in front of Giants holder Matt Cavanaugh during a field goal attempt. The unexpected disruption caused Cavanaugh to lose focus and mishandle the hole. The Broncos maintained their 14-3 lead, ultimately securing a narrow 17-16 victory. And we don't know if this incident was a fan going too far or walking the fine line perfectly. Damn! Someone's gotta sign that guy to play quarterback, cause that's just an impressive play. But this next moment is far less impressive. During an August 2021 preseason game between the Los Angeles Rams and Los Angeles Chargers, the crowd's intense rivalry turned into a violent altercation. This moment began when a man wearing an Aaron Donald Rams jersey got into an argument with other fans seated in front of him. The situation escalated when a woman from another row threw a drink in the vicinity of the argument, further escalating the madness. Things only got worse as more drinks were thrown from higher up in the stands and fans began to get physically violent with one another. 3 individuals began attacking the original Rams fan, while other spectators attempted to intervene. The man wearing the Aaron Donald jersey suffered a significant eye injury during the brawl, and all the people involved were eventually given lifetime bans from the stadium. And let me repeat, this happened during a preseason game. I mean, take a chill pill, guys. Some of these fans lost their minds for no reason, but these next fans were extra pissed when the officials blew the game for their home team. During a game in 2001 between the Cleveland Browns and the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Browns needed a win to keep their playoff hopes alive. In the closing minutes of the game, the Browns were down by 5 points and were driving towards the Jaguars' end zone. On a critical 4th down play, Quincy Morgan caught the ball and advanced 3 yards before fumbling. Initially, the referees ruled it as a fair catch and awarded the Browns a 1st down. However, the play was subsequently reviewed, which violated NFL rules as a replay cannot be initiated once another play has begun. The officials decided to overturn the ruling, giving possession to the Jaguars, which secured the victory. But Browns fans were livid. Like a bunch of whack jobs, they started chucking glass beer bottles down at the field towards Jaguars players. The bottles struck Jaguars cornerback Kiwaki Thomas, sports writer Dennis Maniloff, and even an executive from the stadium's security firm. The game was briefly paused due to safety concerns and the field being covered in shards of glass. The officials initially considered canceling the game, but the NFL ordered both teams to resume play. I guess we could blame the refs for instigating that moment. Well, maybe if the Browns fans hadn't already proven themselves to be completely nuts, like they did back in 1989. In a 1989 game, another controversial decision by the officials caused the rowdy fans in the dog pound section to lose their minds. With the Broncos on the 4-yard line of the Browns' end of the field, close to the dog pound, the Browns fans in that section began throwing various objects at the Broncos players, including eggs, a battery, and even a dog biscuit. I mean, who the heck is bringing eggs to an NFL football game? Broncos lineman Keith Bishop was cracked by an egg, while referee Tom Dooley was struck by a battery, prompting him to take action. To defuse the situation, referee Dooley made the unprecedented decision to switch the team's sides of the field in the 4th quarter. The intention was to move the Broncos away from the dog pound and reduce the risk of further fan interference. However, even after the switch, objects continued to be thrown at the Broncos huddle, cause these Browns fans are ruthless. Throwing eggs is disrespectful, but some of these fans almost blinded NFL players mid-game. During a Monday Night Football game in 2016 between the Houston Texans and Oakland Raiders, Texans quarterback Brock Osweiler found himself targeted by a fan who directed a green laser beam right at his eyes during a play. Osweiler's performance that night was abysmal, which was actually the standard during his underwhelming stint as the Texans' starting quarterback. The incident with the laser beam provided him with a convenient excuse, though I don't know if anyone was truly buying it. In the end, the Texans lost the game 27-20. No matter how bad Osweiler was, he deserved better treatment than that, right? Last but not least, we have a head coach that used a different tactic to keep his fan base under control. In a late regular season game in 1989, the Cincinnati Bengals faced the Seattle Seahawks. With just under 4 minutes left to play, the Seahawks took the lead with a touchdown pass from Dave Krieg to Kurt Warner, putting the Bengals' postseason chances in jeopardy. Throughout the game, Bengals coach Sam Wyche kept getting more and more frustrated with the officials. And as his tempers boiled over, the frustration extended to the fans in the crowd, who expressed their displeasure by throwing snowballs and beer bottles onto the field, targeting the officials and Seahawks players. In an attempt to calm the situation, Wyche used humor and a touch of local rivalry. He took to the public address system and made a lighthearted comment, urging the fans to point out anyone throwing objects onto the field and remove them from the stadium. He added, "You don't live in Cleveland, you live in Cincinnati." And to be honest, there's definite merit to the statement. Browns fans are out of their minds. There you have it. Those were times that NFL fans went too far. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Also, check out the other videos on your screen to keep watching our great NFL content.